Greetings YouTube and welcome to my latest weapons build. Today we're going to work on a mace. Now this is not an entirely original idea. I saw someone, I think it was on Instagram, that had created a mace using a 6-way plumbing joint. This is a 5-way joint because it's got 4 on this side and 1 on the bottom. The 6-way has 1 going in every direction. And I decided that I wanted to try this, the 5-way, just because I like the aesthetics a little bit more. It reminded me more of some of the geometric style maces that I've seen historically that were made, you know, from the age of the Bronze Age up through the Middle Ages. And I'm going to be using these as impact points, so I'm going to put one of those in each spot like that. And I'm gonna, when I'm finished, I want to orientate it in that direction, so I want it going into a diamond shape when I'm finished. This is going to be the butt cap of the device. I think I'm going to make it 16 inches shaft. This is an oak dowel I'll be using. I'm going to treat it with a little tung oil after the project has got it all cut and fitted, because I'm going to have to bring this end down. You can see those little lines right on there. I tried just screwing it on, but it just doesn't quite fit. So I'm going to need to bring that down just a little, figure out what the depth of this is, so I can bring it down just that amount, just on that end, and then essentially screw this thing onto the end. I'm going to drill a single hole here, and then I'm going to put a wood screw in there, and I'm going to do the same thing with this thing to hold both of these in place. So it's going to be a single wood screw going right in here through the end of the shaft. And I've used that particular style of fastener before, and it's worked beautifully. And because this will be gripping the dowel so firmly, both of them, it really eliminates all splitting concerns, because you're getting that external pressure holding the dowel like this. This is going to be a pretty simple build. I'm going to wrap the handle with some paracord or some other cord I've got kicking around. I haven't decided which color I want to use. And just for fun, that'll be good grip. I may use a color one just for fun. And this should be pretty good. Now, the one problem with this, these are all very common. I mean, any hardware store in the world will carry these items. Tung oil, these fittings, they're all common plumbing fittings or black pipe fittings, and dowels. Easy to get. This, not so much. This I had to go online to find. It was $9 for this fitting, which is annoying that none of my local places, and I even looked at a little less local. I mean the smaller places, and even they didn't carry it. I don't know if this may have been a more common fitting in the past, and it's just not common now, or maybe it's never been common. I don't know. I don't use black pipe for my job. I just use it for my hobby. But this is going to end up being the impact head of the device when I'm finished. So first thing I'm going to need to do is take a measurement and then cut the dowel, and then start working on reducing the diameter just a little bit. I mean, just kissing it, so that I can screw it on here firmly. Because I would really like to literally screw that into this fastener after I've drilled a hole, and have the whole thing really have both a mechanical connection between the unit and the outside diameter, as well as a mechanical connection going through here with a screw. Alrighty, so let's start cutting and start drilling. I'm not going to set up a vise just for 2 holes, so I'm going to be using just this clamp here and a gloved hand with a cut resistant coating on it, and just drill it like that. I'll come in like this, and I'm going to put a little bit of lube on there before I start up, and a little bit of Vaseline before I start. But this mild steel cuts really nice, so I should have no problems whatsoever. Alright, holes are drilled. I have put tung oil on the wood. I'm going to use these two washers and these 2 screws, and here's the bit driver. So now I'm going to assemble the parts I need, and I use my plumber's vise over here to hold everything in place while I'm putting in the screws. I'll just use a bit driver for that. And then once I get that done, the thing is essentially finished. I'm probably going to put the striking heads in first. Maybe easier to do it before I assemble it. Yeah, so I'll put those in first, and then I will assemble it. and then it will become time for the wrapping. And maybe I'll use purple today. I haven't used purple in a while for wrapping. So I'll put those striking heads in first before I put it in the shaft, and then I'll assemble this. So here is the cleared weapon. Now it's just going to be a matter of wrapping the handle to my satisfaction. Now again, this is another example of a low skill level build. This requires no modification whatsoever as far as putting the striking heads in. A vise helps just because it means this is not moving while I'm trying to tighten these down, but it isn't 100% required. You could put this on the shaft and then hold this while turning those. Drilling a hole in mild steel is incredibly easy to do. Wood screws and the little washers I use are at any hardware store. This is at any hardware store, and again, washer and wood screw go there, and tung oil can be found any place. This is just a bit driver, and I did use a box end wrench for this because it made my life easier, though you could use it adjustable in case you don't have a full toolkit. But yeah, this is another example of a low-skilled build, and I'm sure you can find these in larger sizes if you want to. This is a 1/2 inch size, so if you wanted to build a larger mace, say you wanted something a 3/4 inch size, and I may try a bigger one at this point, some point in the future, maybe go for a full size 1 inch and then build a two-handed version of this, because I think that would be kind of cool as well. So now it's going to wrap, and once I get it wrapped, this build is finished. So here we are. This is the completed weapon, all wrapped, which looks good. It's not perfect wrap, but that's life. That's life. And I think it works well because it comes out to just about the same diameter as the butt cap. And the butt cap protects this from damage here at the end of the dowel. It's got a nice heft to it. It's not too heavy. It's going to be a relatively fast device. And again, if I were to go up to a 1 inch diameter, it's going to be much larger, much slower, but it would also have a hell of a lot more impact energy. But this is still going to have a lot of impact energy. These square shapes can really deliver a lot of impact because you're not going to be hitting square. You're going to be hitting one of those corners probably, and that's going to cause a lot of damage against a target that has no armor or just like leather armor or something. This is definitely going to do some damage. You might even be able to dent some something heavier like a metal armor with this thing. I'm not sure. I have not actually tested it. Maybe I'll do that someday. So thank you for being here for this particular weapon build. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope that you will follow me here on YouTube as well as DeviantArt and on Instagram. DeviantArt is the permanent home of my weapon stills. I'll be taking some of those for this video as well as for that page. And I also post things on Instagram as well as cute cat pics, and who doesn't love a cute cat pic? So thank you for being here. I hope you'll come back for the next one.